Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your guy via Philly. You already know it's aggressive intelligence. Touching down with y'all one more time. And this drop was inspired by a conversation I was having with my homie Biddles. I had ran into him this past Saturday at the gas station. You know what I mean? I was going to grab a few things, and bro was posted outside on his grind, with his clothing line, PMF, Practice Makes Fortune. Every man is the architect of his own fortune and future. You know what I'm saying? And we was having a conversation. You know what I mean? Bro, a little younger, he in his early 20s, but he got it. You know what I mean? He up here with it. You know what I'm saying? He a thinker and he cut different. So it wasn't. This conversation wasn't so much about me dropping game on him. It was more about us just having a conversation, and we was talking about how just paying attention to people, like out of all the people that came up, and when he was asking to support the clothing line, even if you don't make a purchase, you could tap in on social media. And he was talking about how he respected the girl that came up, and she was like, "No, I'm alright, no, thank you," and that was respectable. But this world that we live in is so sensitive and shit be so fake that people would feel like she was being rude, but actually she was the respectable one out of most of the people that came up, because nobody owe us no conversation, nobody owe us nothing, and we know that. But it's about just human decency amongst one another, and just with basic, respect. You know what I'm saying? And bro was touching on how everybody is not ignorant out of pure ignorance or being malicious. A lot of people, some people just scary. A lot of people don't know no better. And even though I don't like to use the race card all the time because it's so cliche, some people are racist. You know what I'm saying? Even if they people of color. You know what I'm saying? And then you got people where it's just out of fear. You know what I'm saying? Because how we look. And bro was saying, with him having the dreads, being a younger guy, he may fall more into the stereotype than, the typical, or I guess you could say the average black man or black person. You know what I'm saying? But we was having a conversation on how, like, motherfuckers these days is socially awkward. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you walk up and, you see a young guy trying to do his business, he ain't causing no harm, he ain't trying to hurt, rob nobody. Even if you're not interested, the least you could do is look that man in his eye and, just be like, "I'm good, bro, no thank you," or whatever. But y'all be surprised how many motherfuckers walked up and he, asked him, like, would they like to support the line or, just follow on social media. Grown men and women, like, open your mouth. Like, motherfuckers just like, like, what? Like, and we both the same. Like, once a motherfuckers do some shit like that, the conversation is over. It ain't even, it is what it is. And, no love lost, no love gained. It just is what it is. But it's like, motherfuckers is really socially awkward. And even though social media it can be used as a tool for whatever hustle you may be into or whatever you try to promote, it's also a curse because it took people farther away from reality and just dealing with people in person. Like, I'm sure we all know people who very confident on social media, but if you meet them in person, it's like you wouldn't even think it's the same person because people got so used to hiding behind the screen that out in their travels and when they out and about, they forgot the essence of actually networking with people in person. You know what I'm saying? And that's very important. Like, and back to, like, not using the race card all the time or making it about, people being racist, which that's part of it too sometimes, a lot of times. But it's also some people just fear-based. Like, and if you ain't never break yourself out of it, it is what it is. I'm not going to knock them or grind them up about it. But that's not the way to navigate through the world, especially if you a man. You know what I'm saying? Walk with your head high. Look people in their eye when you talk. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I respect, like, when I meet females that say that they don't have social media. I used to think every female was lying when they say that they just don't want to be bothered, or, they just on their own accord and they just trying to keep it moving. But when I actually started seeing my homegirls tell dudes like that tried to shoot at them, like, I don't have a social media. Like, I got a Facebook, but I don't use it. I used to think they was bullshit and they was bluffing. But then when the dude to leave, I'd be like, yo, you funny as hell. I'm like, yo, you really don't got a grin? And they be like, no, I really don't. And I'm like, oh, shit. And it's like, I respect that even more, because it's like, to be able to put the phone down gives you power today, because everybody walking around with their phone 24/7. And don't get me wrong, my mom sometimes, she think that I'm on the phone like while she talking. Now, it still may be rude because we talking and having a conversation, but I was explaining to my mom, like, I'm not on the phone like just scrolling or just bullshitting. Like, my phone is like my office. You know what I'm saying? It's a mobile office, and that's how I treat it. So I'm listening to you, and yeah, but at the same time, I'm scrolling through my emails, making sure I ain't missing nothing important. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm responding back to somebody about something got to do with business. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, this just a quick drop to speak on how, like, don't lose that essence. Like, it's nothing like in person. You know what I'm saying? Because on social media, it's easier to be confident because we behind a screen. But when you go to business events or just in your travels and you meet people, and especially people of business, how you interact in person is what they pay more attention to, because people could be anything on social media. So never lose the essence and the importance of networking and making connections in person and connecting dots. You know what I'm saying? Like, and even when it comes to relationships, sometimes the phone could, like, cause problems, because it's like, we all enjoy our phone. We all got the apps that we get on for business. We got the apps that we get on for our downtime and for entertainment. There's nothing wrong with that. But learn to live in the moment and embrace intimate moments. Like, if you with your significant other or whatever. Like me, my phone is my office. So if I go out to dinner or whatever, wherever we at, or even if it's in the house and we just bid and talking, I can put the phone down. You know what I'm saying? So if I can do it, and I got so much shit tied into the phone, and that's my office, and I can put it down, it's no excuse if you on whatever, TikTok, whatever it may be. It's like, there's nothing wrong with that. But don't forget the importance of them in-person encounters, especially with people that you're close to. And I guess you could say equally important to people that you encounter in your travels as well, because not so much about the phone with that part, but just know how to talk, know, like, etiquette. You know what I'm saying? Know how to operate. Like, the way you would speak when you in this room or this setting, it may not be the way to speak when you amongst a business crowd or people that's into different things, especially people that's older than you that may got more knowledge or more wisdom. Put that phone to the side, look them in the eye, and have a conversation. You'll be surprised how far they go. Like, me working at Wawa this last 3 or 4 years, I've met a lot of people of business, connections that I probably would have never made because Wawa gave us the common ground. That's another thing I'm going to do a drop on another time and go deeper in it. Take advantage of settings that you placed in, because God put us everywhere where we at for a reason, and every move is meant to be. We always will be meant to be. When you leaving out and you forget your phone or forget your wallet and you got to run back upstairs, don't get aggravated. Even if you on time, don't get mad. God putting you exactly where you supposed to be when you supposed to be there. Because say you didn't leave that, and then you leave out on the type time or the same time frame that you was originally would have been on. You may get in a life-altering accident. You may run into, you ain't no telling. So that's why I learned to appreciate everything about life, even the mistakes and even the slip-ups. Even sometimes I grind myself up because I be so tired sometimes and just drained, especially working overnight. I get forgetful sometimes, but then I remember, oh, that's part of the plan and part of the puzzle too. And it's just like, always hold on to that. It's value in your encounters and the settings that you find yourself placed in. Learn to make it work for you. Not in a malicious way where it's only working for you and you just trying to, just hop on every opportunity, and the people that you're dealing with, they not gaining or benefiting nothing. No, that's not the way to do it either. But it's just taking advantage of the adventure. Like, just day to day, your travels. You know what I'm saying? Like network. Don't be scared to look people in their eye and have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Even if you may not be interested, you can get that person to respect because you may run into them in another setting where they might have an upper hand and they might could help you or save you from some shit. But they'll remember, like, damn, I ran into him at the gas station and he just gave me a funky look, or she just gave me a crazy look, or just mumble some shit and not even look me in my face. That shit is important. And not to make this too long, and I'm glad I remember because originally that was part of what I wanted to include in the drop. I had a homie from down the neighborhood, from down the Jets, and we didn't grow up together, but our mothers live very close to each other. So we naturally like seeing each other. And then just Frankfurt is small. But I used to always tell the homie, like, he was a few years older than me, and he was going to Temple, you know what I'm saying? And he was never, like, the type to be in the neighborhood and partake in a lot of the activities that, you know, we may have. And me and him, we used to have conversations, like, he might see me catching a bus or whatever, like, and offer me a ride, and, you know, we'll have conversations or just run into each other different times. And he used to always say, like, he knew some of the stuff that I was into, but comfortability, that's another drop. Comfortability, like, somebody could know what you into, but if they don't never get to see you in motion or see how you carry yourself, they put you in the pool with everybody else, and it's like, oh, it's nothing special. And, you know, but when somebody get to actually see you operate, they can know what you into. A lot of times I like to tell the homies, like, everybody know we trap. They know what we out here doing. But if the neighbors are sitting right here and somebody walk up, go out the way. Like, walk behind, you know what I'm saying, this building, or just get out of line of their sight. You know what I'm saying? Because that shit go a long way. Like, it's one thing people know what you're doing and you reckless and you just moving any type of way. It's another thing when they say, damn, well, at least he doing it, you know what I'm saying? At least he doing it in a certain way where it's like, it's respectful as it could be, and he ain't putting nobody in harm's way or in a line of fire. You know what I'm saying? You got to know how to move. But anyway, I used to tell the homie, like, he used to be like, man, you not like the guys down there, or a lot of guys I be seeing you with, man, you not like them. That's not for you. And I used to tell him, like, none of this shit is for none of us. We was born into it, some earlier than others, some younger than others. Some people's situations is harder than others. But I'm a lot more like them dudes than you think I am. I might have my own code, which allow me to navigate a certain way and be in amongst different crowds, where we talking about when I was in my early 20s, not nothing recently. But even now, because I still move the same, I just don't live the same. But I'm a lot more like them guys than you think. And you judging them, and like he used to always say, man, when I walk by, I don't speak to them guys. I don't say nothing to them. And I used to always tell them, like, man, don't think because you work every day and you go to college that you better than them. I'm like, that we all from the same neighborhood. So the fact that you still here too, even if you could move out or whatever, you can't look at it like that. You know what I'm saying? Because we all here for a reason. So don't look at it like you above them, because you'll be surprised. You never know. It's a small world and it's a very small city. You might be somewhere in a jam, and them same people that you walk by every day and don't speak to or don't acknowledge because you feel like you better than them and you got your head up high, they be the ones that can be like, oh, that's such and such son from the neighborhood. Like, oh, now he good, and save your ass from the situation. Don't walk around and treat shit like that. And I don't know if it ever sunk in. He said it did, but hopefully it did. But that's not the way to go about life. You know what I'm saying? It's really not. And I'm going to sum it up. My guy MGTOW always use an analogy of, he know people that's in skinheads, like racists, and they don't fuck with black people, but they fuck with him. And I can relate to that because I don't have any friends or associates that fit that criteria, but I pay attention to how I get treated certain places, and my counterparts that's the same color as me carry themselves differently and they get treated differently. A small example is the Chinese store. I get love when I go to the Chinese store. Damn near anyone that I went to more than once. I don't go in there on no ignorant shit and yelling, and it's really how you carry yourself. But I'm going to sum this up, and I'm going to be touching down with y'all this whole week, man. We locked in. It's aggressive intelligence. I appreciate y'all tapping in.